3 combinations every beginner needs to know. Okay, so we're gonna start with the double jab cross, the 1-1-2. It's a classic combination. I use my lead hand to get in range to throw the backhand. So this is an important combination to understand. You see this over and over again in the sport of boxing. Now the key with this is smaller steps so that I don't expose myself to a counter. So when I start throwing my jab, I'm actually throwing my jab at his backhand, so he's not able to throw that at me as I circle. So I'm throwing that at his backhand, and I'm trying to throw my 2 straight down the middle of his gloves. Okay, so I'm trying to create a little bit of chaos on his lead hand, and then I go straight down the middle. Okay, so as I'm taking my steps, I'm getting closer, and I'm trying to shoot that cross right down the middle. The idea too is that as I circle, I'm staying myself crouched down. I don't want to extend and start leaning forward, because I can lean and walk right into that back. So as I throw my punches, you can see how I'm crouched down. So as I throw my jab, if the right hand comes, I'm in a position to roll. I do not want to lean forward and start reaching here. So I shoot the jab, and then I shoot the 2 straight down the middle. I still have good defense with my lead hand. All right, so we're starting with the 1-1-2, the double jab cross, a classic combination in the sport of boxing. Now, the way that I deliver this combination can have a lot of variety. You don't need to throw it the same way every time. That's why it's effective. So there's a timing element to it. I could throw my jabs quick. I could have like a little bit of an awkward pause after the first jab. My goal is to get in range. So as I start moving in, I'm taking small steps and I'm getting in range for the right hand. I throw my jab at his backhand, so I'm creating traffic so he's not able to use his right hand. So I'm throwing the punches at his right hand to set up the cross right down the middle. As I move my way in, I'm taking small steps and I'm keeping my weight back. I'm not shifting my head forward. I'm rotating and I'm staying in a position where I'm safe from his counter right hand. If I start leaning forward, Gabe could throw that over the top of my glove and I could walk straight into that punch. So if people get tired, they start getting lazy, they start reaching, that's when they get countered. So my weight's back, I'm shooting the jab, and then the right hand straight down the middle. I still have my left hand tight to my face, and my shoulder is right on my cheek. So it's a real classic combination. I could throw that as I move in. Like I said, I could have different cadence. I could go pop, pop, or I could throw 1, 1, 2, and I can kind of mix it up. And then obviously I want to exit safely after that combo. The next combination that every beginner needs to know, 1-3-2, jab, lead hook, cross. The lead hand is setting up the right hand. So I'm not putting a huge focus on this hook, but it is a distraction. What I'm trying to do with it is I'm trying to get his hand to move outward. Okay, when he sees the looping punch, that brings his hand to the side. That sometimes gets their weight to shift, and that opens up the middle. Okay, so boxing is about quadrants. I'm trying to set up punches in one quadrant to open up the other. So my jab is straight down the middle. Okay, I turn, I throw a hook, and that's trying to create that reaction. It's a nice long hook, and then I shoot the cross right down the middle. Okay, so it looks like this. You can see how this is loose. I'm not putting a bunch of power, I'm setting this up. If the hook does land, it's still gonna startle your opponent and it'll help land the 2, right? So I'm not putting a bunch of power and really exposing myself because I can get hit right there. I'm staying back. As I throw the 3, I'm in position. You can see my hips are back and I'm in a good position to throw the 2. I'm not falling forward, I'm not leaning, I'm taking equal steps as I come in. Okay, the last combination that's super important for beginners is to learn how to move up and down. So my hand, when I'm throwing the double jab, is down the middle. If I'm throwing the hook, it's coming around. Now I'm going down to the bottom quadrant. Okay, so my first jab right down the middle. As I throw the jab to the body, which we call the 9, I'm gonna shoot it to the rib cage. You're gonna see my head and body bend to the side. Okay, so now I'm off the line. If he throws any punch, it's gonna go over my head. Okay, so I'm not staying up here and punching down where my face is wide open to any punch he'd like to throw. You're gonna see that my shoulder, right, my chin is on my shoulder when I throw my jab, and when I throw the jab to the body, it's in the same position. Okay, I don't wanna just punch down and leave my face open. So jab, jab the body, and that opens up the 2. Okay, you're hoping that your partner reacts to your lower punch and that drops that lead hand. As his lead hand starts dropping, that punch comes straight over. Okay, and that could be a straight, it could be a hook, wherever the opening is, right? 1, 9, 2. Okay, 1, jab the body, shoot, right? And I'm landing, coming out. Okay, so a little summary of these basic combinations. Now, I can say it's a basic combination, but this is a combination that is nuanced. You're gonna work on it the rest of your life. There's no end point of improvement. You could throw a jab for 6 years and your jab's gonna keep getting better. So the best boxers in the world have the discipline to do the basics every single day. There's no magic formula. There's no secret punch that's gonna win you a world title. It's, do you put the work in every single day to develop the nuanced skill that progresses over time, and you can change little iterations in your technique to make those things more effective. So I'm using the lead hand to set up the rear hand. That's what I'm doing. Double jab, right? I'm using the double jab to set the back hand up. I use the lead hook to set the back hand up, and I use the lead jab to the body to set the right hand up. So these are our setup punches. I'm using the lead hand because if I come in with my rear hand without a setup, I'm exposing my weight on my front leg to either a hook, right? A 1-2, it could be a lot of different combinations. I don't just want to come across the line this way. If he throws a right hand and I start, I'm going to walk right into that, okay? So I really need to learn how to set punches up. I set this up with this by making him think about this hand lots of different ways, right down the middle. To learn more, you guys can come to Archetype Boxing Club. You can also send an email, comments in the videos, anything, and we'd be happy to get back to you.